Imagine you are a kid who was born as a prince or a princess. You live in a big house and you have a very famous family. But suddenly your grandpa, who is the king, says you aren't allowed to use your special royal name anymore. You don't get the shiny letters HRH on your papers, and you don't get the special bodyguards who keep you safe. This is exactly what is happening right now to Prince Harry's children, Archie and Lilibet. Their parents asked for new passports, but the king said no. This isn't just about a name. It is a giant fight about what it means to be royal in a world that is changing fast. It is a story about secrets, big trips to Australia, and parents who are trying to protect their children while the rest of the family pulls away. People all over the world are talking about this because it feels like a big explosion in the palace. Today, we are going to look behind the heavy curtains of the castle. We will find out why King Charles is being so tough and what this means for the future. Is it fair to take away a child's royal status? Let's dive into the truth and see why these three little letters are causing so much trouble for the royal family. Some people think Meghan Markle is trying to use her children to make a lot of money. They say she wants to show them to the world so she can become more famous and rich. I'm not being tricked by this at all. Some people think Meghan keeps her children hidden away because she is angry. She is upset that the royal family will not give her money to pay for security guards. She thinks her kids should be protected by the government, but the palace says no. This creates a lot of bad feelings between her and the rest of the family. A very big moment is happening right now that is shocking everyone. King Charles has reportedly said no to giving Archie and Lilibet special royal passports. This has started a giant argument that no one saw coming. What started as a small talk about titles is now turning into a very serious problem. It makes people ask questions about what the royal rules really are. Behind the tall walls of the palace, everyone is getting very stressed. This choice could change how the royal family works forever. How did things get this bad? What does this mean for the future of the kids? A simple request for passports has shaken the whole crown. Usually, getting a new passport is just boring paperwork that happens quietly. But this time, it turned into one of the biggest royal fights we have seen in a long time. The drama is all about Archie Harrison and Lilibet Diana. On the outside, it looks like their parents just wanted to update their travel papers. But there was a secret request hidden in the paperwork. Meghan and Harry didn't just want passports. They wanted the passports to say HRH for their children. HRH stands for His or Her Royal Highness. In the world of kings and queens, small things mean a lot. Those three letters, HRH, are not just for decoration. They are a big symbol of power and identity. They show that you are officially recognized by the king. This title changes how people treat you in other countries. It helps you get special help from other governments. It even changes how many guards you get and how fancy your welcome is. HRH is more than a title. It is a very strong statement. This is exactly why the request made everyone so upset and worried. For Meghan and Harry, this is about their kids' future. They want to make sure Archie and Lilibet are not cut off from their royal family history. They want the kids to feel like they belong to their royal roots, no matter what happens with the family fights. There is also a practical side to it. In a world where titles can help you get more protection and better treatment, having HRH status could help the kids on the global stage for many years. They want their children to have every advantage they can get. On the other side of the fight is the royal institution. They have worries that are bigger than just one family. They want to keep the rules the same for everyone. The title of HRH has been used in the same way for a very long time. If they change the rules now, it could mess up the whole system. Since Harry and Meghan quit their royal jobs, it raises hard questions. Can people who don't work for the king still act like royals? Should these big titles be used in private life? These are not small questions for King Charles to answer. What makes this even more messy is that it involves international rules and old traditions. A choice here could change how the whole world looks at the British monarchy. What started as a simple act of filling out forms has become a high-stakes battle. It is a clash between a family trying to find its place and a king trying to save the traditions of the past. In this story, the stakes are not just about a name in a book. They are about power and what it means to be a royal today. What should have been simple has become a giant global event. The answer from the palace came very fast. It was very clear and didn't leave any room for arguing. The message was steady and firm. It showed that the palace is sticking to its old values. King Charles and Prince William both agreed on this choice. Their united front shows that this wasn't just a quick thought. It was a choice based on duty and responsibility. The message was simple. The request will not be approved. Not now and not ever. The palace chose to speak through Princess Anne because she is a very hard worker. Through Princess Anne, the monarchy told the world what titles really mean. The palace says titles are not just labels for looking important. They are not symbols to make people feel better than others. Instead, they stand for a life of hard work and helping the country. To have a title means you have a job to do for the public. It means you have to follow the king's rules. In this way, HRH status is not something you get just because you were born. It is a working name for people who are active members of the royal team. Harry and Meghan chose to leave their royal jobs because they left their relationship with the palace changed. Their move was not just a vacation, it was a permanent shift. The palace says that if you step back from your work, you also lose the special things that come with the job. It is not a punishment. It is just being fair. The system cannot give someone the honor of a title without the hard work that goes with it. Inside the palace, everyone knows the new rule: no duty means no HRH. Those 4 words say it all. These 4 words carry the weight of many centuries. They show that the king believes the monarchy must have clear lines to stay important. If they allow exceptions, the line between working and not working gets blurry. This would make the whole institution look weak. This response is very strong but also very calm. There is no yelling or mean talk. It is just a reminder of how the monarchy works. It is the king drawing a line in the sand based on his principles. This sends a message to the whole world that royal titles must be earned. The situation gets even more intense when you look at Harry and Meghan's trip to Australia. They say it is a private trip for wellness and being quiet, but people in the royal circle see it differently. They are starting to worry that it is actually a business trip. There are reports of very expensive tickets and special packages for rich people. This makes it look like a commercial venture. It blends the royal name with making a profit. This is exactly where the HRH title becomes a giant problem for everyone involved. If the children traveled as HRH royals, the results would be huge. That name is not just a symbol. It brings real benefits that cost a lot of money. It means the government has to provide top-level security with armed guards. There would be special papers to help them move across borders faster. Airports would have to give them priority. They would get special cars and very safe places to stay. All of these things are usually paid for by the people who pay taxes. This is only allowed because royals are supposed to be working for the nation. This is where Princess Anne says no. She believes royal things are for helping the country, not for making money. Titles and protections are for official jobs and charity work. When those special things are used for private business, the line between duty and money disappears. That is the real danger. If HRH status is used for a luxury retreat, it turns the royal identity into a brand that can be sold. Princess Anne thinks this is a very big problem. She wants to protect the trust of the people. This is a boundary that the palace will not let anyone cross. This isn't the first time Harry has had trouble with the HRH title. Last year, there was a lot of chaos, too. What should have been a normal process turned into a source of worry for Harry and Meghan. They had to wait nearly 6 months for their kids' British passports. Usually, these things happen very fast for famous people. The long wait made them very suspicious. They started to wonder if the palace was blocking them on purpose. They feared it was because the palace didn't want to recognize Archie and Lilibet as real royal highnesses. For Harry, this wasn't just about a wait. It was about his children's history. As the weeks went by, he got more and more frustrated. He even talked about a big change. He thought about using his mother's last name, Spencer, for his children. This would be a way to honor Princess Diana and move away from the royal name. It showed how much he wanted to protect his kids' identity. The palace said they weren't interfering. They said it was just a technical delay. But Harry and Meghan didn't believe them. It added to the stress between the couple and the king. Eventually, the passports were sent, but the damage was already done. It showed the big disagreement between the couple and the palace. Harry wants to keep the HRH title as an option for his kids when they grow up. He wants to keep doors open for them. Other people think this isn't fair. They say you can't have the perks of being royal if you don't do the work. The public is split on this. Some feel sorry for Harry as a dad. Others think the couple shouldn't get special treatment. It's a very delicate balance between tradition and personal choices. Behind the big speeches, there is a very sad and human story. Prince Harry is a man who is still hurt by his past. He still thinks about his mother, Princess Diana, all the time. Her death changed how he sees everything. He is very afraid that the people he loves will be in danger. He thinks he must act differently to keep them safe. For him, this fight isn't about rules. It is about protection. He wants to shield his children from the same world that hurt his mother. His fight is built on love and fear. But he is fighting against his own father and brother. This makes the whole thing very painful for everyone. It is not just a legal fight, it is a family fight. Every step he takes feels like he is moving further away from his own blood. Meghan is different. She is focused on the future. She is very determined. She doesn't look at the past as much. She sees the HRH title as a way to stay relevant in a fast world. To her, it is a symbol of who they are. She knows that being famous is a type of power. Some people say Meghan's plan is just about building a brand. They think she is mixing royal history with business. This makes people ask if she is trying to save history or just become more famous. This difference between Harry and Meghan creates a quiet tension. Harry wants safety and healing. Meghan wants a strong future and a lasting impact. Together, they are trying to lead their family through two very different forces. Their story is more than a news headline. It is a story of two people with different fears and different hopes for their children. This moment feels like history is being made. It is more than just passports and titles. It is about what the royal family will look like in the future. For a long time, being born a royal meant you had a set path. But now, that path is changing. The talk is no longer just about who your parents are. It is about what you do for the country. In the United Kingdom, people are asking if titles should only be for people who live there and do the work. This would be a giant change in royal history. Archie and Lilibet are in a very strange spot. They are royal by blood, but they aren't part of the royal work. They are recognized by their names, but they don't have a job in the palace. Some people call them ghost heirs. This means they are visible but not active. The palace is standing firm and won't change its mind. Under King Charles and Prince William, the monarchy is moving in a very specific direction. They are choosing order and rules over personal feelings. They want to make the institution stable for a long time, even if it means making hard choices. For the Sussex family, this is a big turning point. It forces them to look at who they really are. For the monarchy, it is an evolution. It might be the start of a smaller, more focused royal team where every job has a clear purpose. The world is watching and asking a big question. Can an old family like this stay relevant today, or will they have to change their core principles? This isn't just a royal story. It's a story about how old groups must adapt to survive. How do you stay yourself without breaking your foundation? What do you think about the king's choice? Tell us in the comments.